Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, in today's episode, we have the Captain's Corner. Now, we've got the bye rounds. We have 18 players playing. If ever you needed a captain to perform, it's the next 4 weeks, okay? It makes a massive difference. It's a difference between possibly 80 to 90 points at some stages. We need the captains to run well, okay? If our captains are scoring 150s and our opposition's captains are scoring 90s, we are laughing, okay? So let's get the captains right. It's vital this next 4 weeks. Starting from this week, let's see if we can pinpoint the exact captain. Now, we have 20 experts. I'm going to introduce them all to you now, and we're going to go through their tips. Let's continue. Now, I've set up some rules for this group of 20. Now, because they're a very competitive bunch, okay? They want to have the best. They want to give out the best information, and they want to have the best captain score. So they are like full on thinking about every decision they make. So I said to them, if your vice captain scores 120 plus, all right, that was the plan. If they score 120 plus, then we're going to take the vice captain score and ignore the captain score. Okay, then we had a lot of ifs and ahs, and they weren't very happy about that, because 120 is a good score for us normal human beings, okay? But for these freaks, 120, they laughed at me. They said, 120, are you kidding me? These guys average 145. 120 is a loss for them, okay? They couldn't handle that, okay? I said, okay, just calm it down. Okay, we're not going to do 120. So here's the guidelines, okay? This is what we're going to do, all right? Now, if their VC, the one they pick, scores 120 plus, all right, and the C scores under 119. So, for example, if they pick Bont and the Bont scores 120 exactly, all right, and they captain, just say they captain somebody else, like Oliver, all right, and Oliver scored 60, we're going to take the 120 for their score, okay? However, because what they've done is they've led you to the correct VC. They can only lead you to the water. It's up to you to drink that water now. So 120 is their minimum. Okay. Now, if their VC scores between 120 and 125, okay, because they've done a job for you, it's up to you to decide if you want to take it or not. And let's say the Bond scored 125. However, They also said you should captain Oliver, and let's say Oliver went 180, all right? I'm going to reward them with the 180 because they're giving you the 120 to 125. It's up to you to take it, but they've also given you 180, okay? So I'm going to reward you with the 180. However, if their vice captain scores 126 and Oliver scores 180, they're only getting the 126. That's the deal, okay? For their point scoring. That's how it's going to happen now. Just calm it down. Now let's continue. Now first up, okay, we're going to start up straight away. We start off with JS, okay? His Twitter handle is @DidacDT, okay? Now, you should follow him. Gives great advice every week. Now, he's averaging 125 plus in fantasy. Now, in Supercoach terms, that's close to a 135 plus average. Now, this is how he's gone. He's going to VC led and put the C on Taranto. Their form is undeniable. Both have a very easy matchup. We can easily use a bye player to loop them. That's our first captain's option. Just calm it down. Let's go to our next one. The next man to go is Legend Hen 23. Now, he's ranked number 1 for picking captains. His average is 145 picking captains. Now, his ranking is quite good. It's actually very good. His season rank is 17th, okay? Now, you're not getting advice from these people know what they're talking about with their captains. They've been very good. Now, who has he chosen? Dacos as a VC, a Bont as the C. Okay, that's who he's gone. Now he says, Dacos gets the armband for the first time in my squad. Hoping he runs rings around the Harley Reid contenders. while the Bont is locked in for C against, he wrote deleted cats. I just changed it to depleted, just coming down in case you made a spelling mistake. Okay, so VC Dacos, C Bont from the LGND hen, or is it Legend hen? I have to ask him how to pronounce this. I just coming down. Now, next on the list is Rustic. Now, Rustic is averaging 139 per captain. If you don't count round one, because in round one, his captain scored a 50, okay? But don't count round one. In the last 10 rounds, he's averaging 139. That's huge, okay? Now, he's chosen Bont as a VC and Merit as C. Okay, he says, I can't really pass up on Bont into Merits. I usually like to go a riskier VC with a higher ceiling to try to differentiate from the competition, but due to the outs and because of the buys, options are limited, and I feel Bont is due anyway. Can somewhat see a 120, 130, which will leave a tough decision going into Merit versus North. He could rip them apart, he says. Let's see what happens. Just come down, everybody. So Rustic has gone VC Bont, C Merits. If you're happy with Rustic's choice, let's continue. Next up is Robobo. Now, Robobo was averaging 150 up until the end of round 8. Yeah, you heard that right. 150 Supercoach points. That's unheard of. Okay, but my Supercoach, my players don't even score 150. His captain's averaging it. That's unbelievable. Anyway, let's go for his tips. Now, mind you, Robobo had a bad round 9, so his average went down. But if it wasn't for the round 9, he'd be killing it. Now, VC, he says Rosie at Adelaide Oval against the Hawks, who leaked the second most points in the comp to midfield guns. So he's gone for Rosie as the vice captain. And captain, he's gone for Merritt as it's his team with Parrish out, and North loves to let opposition midfielders run riots, which is true. So no tags for either player. Notable mentions, he says, is Dacos and Dagoe, but the O'Neill tag is real. So he's gone with VC Rosie and C Merritt. Good luck, young man. Let's see how this one goes. Now, next up, we have Mitch. Okay, where's Mitch? There's Mitch there. His average is 145 in the last 4 or 5 games. He's going nuts as well. Now, he says he's going to vice-captain on Butters, as I reckon he should really dominate the contested possessions against a weak Hawks midfield. And he says, will captain Dacos, as he is playing the Eagles on the ground with plenty of room to run. I like the reasoning. Good luck, young man. Let's move over to our next one. Next up is Nick. His team name is Nicolastico. Just coming down. Now, he says, well, he didn't say much. He just said, lock him in. He said, lock in Bonds into Taranto. It's a done deal. Just lock it in. So I've done it. Well, there is his. All right, Taranto, just coming down. Anyway, let's move over. Actually, Nicolastico, is averaging 137 with his vice captain and captains. 137. Can you believe that? Unbelievable. All right, let's continue. Next up, we have Kade. Now, Kade is ranked 16th overall for captains as of last week. That's how recent it is. Now, he's got the proof here. He just shows me. Actually, Legend Hand is ranked 18th. Our players our captain pickers are unbelievable. These tipsters, we've got the best of the best. Now, what has Kade suggested? Let's have a look. Now, Kade says, I'll put their Twitter handles here too. If you want to follow them on Twitter, you can. They're all here. I'm going to also put these in the comments down below later on. Anyway, this is what Kade says. He says, VC on Rosie versus Hawthorn, who I reckon will put up some effort into Butters. So he should run free. Good recent history at Adelaide Oval as well. And he says, put the C on Merritt. Versus North, not much else to be said. Had 140 on them last time around. Well, let's go with it. Just coming down. All right, good luck, Kade. All right, next. We now have Jaden. Now, he showed me his resume. Let's have a look at his resume. Okay, round 1, Wits, 140. Round 2, Bond, 125. Laird, Dacos. He's got a good resume. Last week, 170. I wish we did this last week, okay? We would have been so much happier. They're just coming down. Anyway, he's averaging 134. That's huge, okay? I wish I could just get 134s every week. Now, let's see what he has said, the young man. He said here, round 12. Now, keep in mind, they can only pick players that are in their teams. They can't pick, if, for example, if they want to pick Raul and he's not in their team, they can't pick Raul, okay? They can only pick players that are in their teams right now, okay? So that's the rules, okay? I don't make the rules, just coming down. Anyway, round 12, VC, he's got on Petrarca. He says 5-round average of 132 and only one score below 122 in that time, which is the week I picked him also. That's not bad. Good timing. It's all about timing these days. Now, he says C will most likely be Bont. Tempted by Nick Dacos, but not sure if O'Neill tries to get him. Okay, so he's gone for Petrarca into Bont. Okay, good luck, young man. Okay, who's next? Now, next up, we have Sebastian. Okay, now let's see what Sebastian is. Who is shooting? Let's see his resume first. Let's just come there. Let's have a look at his resume. Let's see if we should recruit this young man. What has he done? Well, let's have a look at this. Last 7. Okay, can you believe this? 7-round average of 153. 7-round average of 153. Sicily 172. Clary 120. Shrek 151. Dunkley 149. Marshall 159. Bont 182. Laird 135. It's nuts. And what I like about this the most, they're all different players. It hasn't just gone what I do every week, Bont. It's not the boring old picks. He's got variety, okay? He's got the 7 herbs and spices just coming down. Anyway, let's see who he's picked now. Now he says, VC, Nicky Dacos, okay? He says, against a deflated West Coast on a big surface of Optus, every chance he goes big. Okay, I like that. Then he says, C on Laird, perfect conditions for plenty of contested ball and hopefully plenty of legal tackles. Puts it in capitals. Okay, I love it. Okay, just coming down. Okay, good luck, young man. Who's next? Next up, we have Berlin. Okay, just coming down. Now, keep in mind, now these people, the people that give me these predictions, they send me their predictions privately, so they can't see what each other's given. Okay, so that's the terms and conditions. So they've all given me their tips and also the reasoning privately. Now let's have a look at Berlin's resume. Okay, because we have to hire him. How good is he? Let's have a look. Well, the last couple, Sicily 172, Zeret 162, Bont 112. That was probably the only failure for him. That's nuts. And Brayshaw, he probably started badly, but check this out. That's nuts. Okay, so we've recruited him. We're happy with this. Now, what has he said? He said, VC Dacos 125 against Eagles last year. Saw a CBA increase last week. Eagles' easiest team to score on for midfielders. Possible tag, he's saying also. And he says, C merits, self-explanatory, second easiest midfield to score on, shouldn't be tagged. Last score against him was 140. Okay, I love the selections. Good luck, young man. Let's move over to the next one. Next up, we have Matthew Alvin. Okay, now let's have a look at his resume. What has he done? Average of 141. Is that enough? 141 average? That's nuts. Okay, he's in the top 15 as well. This is insane. Okay, now let's have a look what he has said. And again, his tweet is here. His handle, Matthew Alvin. Okay, that's it. Matthew Alvin just coming down. Now, it says, my VCNC picks for this week. He says, I think Dacos VC is a no-brainer. Could be a ceiling game from him. West Coast always give away lots of points. Then he says if he fails, then hard to go past the Bont. C should feast against the Cats. Without their mids, should get a big score from one of these two blokes. I think he's right. Okay, just coming down. Good luck, young man. Let's continue. Next up, we have TSO 1967. Okay, now that was a good year. Now, he's averaging 130. Well, you may say 130. The others were averaging 145. 130 is actually brilliant. We can't average 130, but we'll take it. Now, I can't even get 130s. Now, who's he? His resume, it looks like it's an Oliver Blunt. He's more the safety man, okay? He likes to play it safe. I love the safety option. I've been doing that too, except my safety ones haven't been very safe. Now, he's gone Oliver, Bont, and English all year, okay? but this time he's changed it. Just coming down. Now, who's he picked? He's gone Bont VC and Merit C. He wanted to go Dacos, but he's just worried about the tag. And Taranto facing his old club. He thinks they may handle him harder. So Bont and Merit, because Merit is playing North, he's very happy with that. And TSO is one of our regulars on our channel. Just coming down, TSO. All right, good luck. Okay, let's continue. Now we go up to this young boy, Engo. I had a private chat with him. He said he thinks he's going to actually win the whole thing. He's going to be the best captain picker because he's into good form right now. He told me he's one of the best. Just coming down. Anyway, he didn't actually say that. I just made that up. Anyway, it sounded good anyway. Just coming down. Now, he's picked Bont VC and Merit C because he says Bont to destroy the Cats' weak midfield. Merit has proven history against the Roos. Will go large. Okay, good choices, young man. Good luck and go to Tigers. Okay, who's next? Next up, we have Sue. We have the ladies' touch. Okay, now we need also some females in our captain picking. Sue is one of the best. Now she's averaging 136 for a captain. That's brilliant. Okay, now who has she picked? Let's read her instructions. Says here, Dacos VC. Says Redmond ran ragged against West Coast last week. And I see the same with Dacos this week. Not worried about tags, as no one will keep up with him. That's a good point. Now it says Bont C. An undermanned midfield will prove no match for the Bonts in this matchup. Regardless of whether he gets a blick halves or a tag or whatever, he says he should break for shackles and be a high scorer in a winning Dogs outfit. So, VC Dacos into C Bont. Good luck, Sue. Alright, who's next? Now we go to the Duke. Now the Duke's in the top 120 in actual rankings, so he's having a great season. He says his advice, well, he says just go to Bont every week. He's carried his rank, but this is what he's been, his average is very high. Look at this, Wits 140, Bont 125, Laird 114. He's done well, Marshall 159, Bont 164. Now, his picks for this week, even though he said always go for the Bont, he hasn't gone for the Bonds. It's coming down. He says, I think Petrarca into Merits. He's happy with that. And he says, if people that own Raul, he says, just put the VC on him. I should agree. Good luck, Duke. Hopefully you get in the top 100 this week. Okay, let's continue. We now go to the inside mids. Now, he's averaging 135. That's nuts. Now, this is not Supercoach Insiders. It's probably the cousin inside mids just coming down. Now he says, VC, I'm going with Dawson. Great matchup against Gold Coast with 140 and 158 in his last two against them. Wow, I didn't know that. Interesting. He said he's considered the Bont, but doesn't have a great history against the Cats and is a little banged up. You will probably correct. He goes, C has to be Merits. Average of 124 in his previous three against North, who can see the second most points to mids. He's in good form as well, with a 3-round average of 122. Would love to go with Green against a leaky Richmond midfield, but don't have the guts to check the C on him. So he's gone VC Dawson, C Merit. Okay, good luck, young man. Let's continue. Now, next up, this man needs no introduction. It's Janaf Fernando. Okay, the legend himself. He's giving us his tips. And it's a long story. I'll read all this. He's giving me a book. Just coming down, Janaf. What are you doing to me? Okay, now, Janaf is also, well, he's a host of the Supercoach Sword Play podcast, Third Man Up. He's in everything. Okay, just if you haven't followed Janaf, you have to follow him at Janaf Fernando 4. Okay, now let's have a look what he's done. Okay, what is he told me? He's written me a whole book. Okay, let's read this now. Says, VC, I'm going with Dawson. Great matchup against Gold Coast with 140 and 158 in his last two against them. Now, Inside Mids said the same thing, but don't forget they've actually written this. Are they copying each other? They must be copying each other, but actually they don't actually see what they've written. Okay, so they've actually written the same thing, but they didn't know that they wrote it. Okay, so I'm reading this out now. Now, 140 in his two most recent games versus the Gold Coast, a side which has given up big midfield scores in the absence of Took Miller since round 8. Players of similar builds and roles for Dawson. Petrarca scored 122, Kelly 132, Dunkley 153, DeBont 120. Well, there you go. All the history is here. They've all scored 120 above against the Suns. And he says, captain on Zach Merritt, an average of 124 in his last 3 games versus North. Midfielders that contest at clearances and then spread out for stoppages have scored strongly against North Melbourne, okay, since round 7. So Oliver, 134, Butters, 139, Warner, 137, DeGo, 156. Interesting stats. Now, Janaf, he just gets all the stats, okay? He goes right, he digs really deep, okay? So, good luck, Janaf, this week. Next up, we have the Nighthawk. Now, he's averaging around about 140 as well for his captain. Unbelievable. Now, if you want to follow him, Nighthawk 732. Now he says, "G'day Abs. I'll be going Gorn VC." Now this is different. Into Bond C this week. My reasoning for Gorn VC is that he's coming off 3 sub-100 scores in a row. And if you look at his history, whenever he's had a quiet 2 or 3 games, he usually follows it up with a big one. So I think it's due. Okay, I don't mind this. Okay, the dark horse. Now, he says, Bont is Bont, and is my safest fallback. See, he said, good luck this weekend. Oh, thank you, Nighthawk. Good luck to you as well. Okay, who's next? Next up is Pigmentality, and he's chosen a VC Dacos and C Bontempelli. Now, if you're not sure who Pigmentality is, he's one of the favourites on Twitter. Helps people out. And his Twitter handle is at @pig_mentality. Now, he's got to join the Jack Bytel Cup, which we're going to feature in our tournaments. He's going to be running it, and it's free to enter, 996754. But you have to enter it before tonight. Just come down, rush in and get it. Anyway, good luck, Pigmentality. Now, who's up next? Next up, we have Kane from Dr. Supercoach. Okay, now, Kane is a very popular young man, okay? He's a writer for Dr. Supercoach, Code Sports, the Herald Sun. He's a founder of Game Jet Theory. He's born on the same day as myself. Just coming down, Kane. We could be twins. Just coming down, okay? So we're born on the same day. Now, with Kane, he's actually the leader right now of the... Well, he was one of the leaders. I think he might have dropped to 2nd or 3rd now. But he's got the most Supercoach points average right now. So we've kept him for last. Okay, now, who has he chosen? Actually, he's equal, sorry. I did say he's the leader. He's actually... Legend Hen is up there with him. The 2 of them, they're racing. And there's a few others as well. All of these are tops. Anyway, he's gone VC Nick Dacos. He says, upside play. Eagles are an elite matchup for midfielders and defenders. Played just 1 game at Optus Stadium, but it suits his game style. Lots of open space. Might cop a tag, but I back him in to break it. Will be the most popular VC choice in Supercoach this week, he thinks, okay? And he says, Zach Merritt for C. Depleted midfield currently at North Melbourne. Fresh off giving up 150 and 125 to Dacos and Degoe. Doubt they tag him. Historically elite against the Kangaroos. A great low-risk captain's play. So VC Dacos into C Merritt. Okay, now, this is all else. Now, if you want to follow Kane as well, it's at Kane, Kano Gem, Gem, capital letters. But I'll put all these Twitter... Actually, they're all here anyway. You can copy them from here. Just pause it and copy it. Just come it down. Saves me from putting it down below. Okay, let's continue. Now we do a final summary. Okay, who's the most popular vice-captain and captain options? Okay, now Dacos is the most popular vice-captain option with 7 votes. Bont is coming 2nd. Then we have a few others down here. And the most popular captain option is Merritt at 10 and Bont at 6. So it's all divided. 50% have gone for Merritt. And about 20, 25, maybe 30% gone for Bont. So it's a very... it looks like Dacos into Merritt is the most popular option. I've got it out of the top, out of the best minds in the game. Just coming down. Well, and you know who I'm going to go with? Well, I'm going to follow them. I mean, if you can't beat them, you join them, okay? I'm going to go Dacos on Merritt. Can't go wrong. If the experts here can't go wrong, I can't go wrong. Take us how merit it is. Just calm it down, everybody. Now that's all for today. Thank you for joining, and a big thank you to all our participants that gave us their thoughts, their time, and thank you to all of you, and good luck, everybody. For this weekend, we need a score of about 1900 to be very competitive. That'll be a top 5 to 10% score, I think. 1900 is the goal. We need to pick the right captains. These are it. Dacos, into merit, according to the experts. The people that don't get it wrong, they can't get it wrong. We have to follow them. Well, I am anyway. That's all for today. Thank you for joining. And remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.